Hello everyone, this is Ophelia. I trust everyone is doing great. Today I want to talk about acceptance. I don't want to go too much too wide with the topic acceptance. I was trying to reflect to see what perspective I could give to acceptance. What can I relate it to this morning to make some sense to my viewers, my listeners. In every situation that we encounter, positive, negative, especially negative, we need some form of acceptance. When things are not going the way we want them to, we have to find a way to accept things as they are. And this morning I want to reach those people who are experiencing mental turmoil here. I want to reach those people who are in situations where they are experiencing conflicting thoughts. People in relationships or who has just ended relationships. It's not easy. From every day, ever so frequently, I encounter someone experiencing problems in a relationship. Sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman, most of the time it's women. And for ladies and those men who are experiencing pain, because mental, emotional pain because of a relationship, I want to encourage you to, if you've been in a situation where you're trying to change things, whether it's an unfaithful partner or there is a lot of miscommunications, but especially where you have a situation where someone is cheating on you or is not treating you respectfully or is abusing you mentally, physically, any form of ill treatment. How long, I want to ask you, how long do you plan to continue in a situation that you are not happy? How long do you plan to resist what is happening rather than accept? Your partner might be cheating on you. You have all the evidence that your partner is cheating on you. They're not treating you right. They're disrespecting you, refusing to sit down and have discussions regarding the issues that are happening. They are mentally, emotionally tormenting you. How long do you intend to resist instead of accepting what is happening? Acceptance, seeing the situation for what it is, coming to the acceptance, the realization that there are some things, some battles that you cannot continue fighting. Embracing, even though it's hurting you, even though you're having all of these what ifs, and you don't want the situation to be the way it is. You have to, at some point, in order to find peace of mind and find some sort of happiness, you have to embrace whatever it is that is happening and accept that it is the way it is. And you're going to have conflicting thoughts about the situation. You might be thinking, should I leave? Should I stay? Does he love me? Does she love me? Is it true that he is having another relationship? Is it true that she is seeing someone else? But you have all this evidence. You know within yourself. Your intuition, everything is telling you that something is not right, and your partner, his behavior or her behavior is not, it's not showing any concern for whatever you're experiencing. You have to come to a point of acceptance in any situation like that, because if you don't come to a point of acceptance, you're going to live in torment. It is not easy when each waking moment and each time you close your eyes, you are playing over what is happening in your life. And when you do not accept, you're just basically it's just confusing, because you have conflicting thoughts, some good, some bad. And what is happening at the moment, it might be bad things happening at the moment, but you're having, these bad things are happening at the moment, but you're also having thoughts about what used to be, all the good things that happened in the past. But how long ago was it that those good things happened? So I want to challenge you today. I want to encourage you today that if you want to move on, if you want to find peace of mind, to accept your situation the way it is. It might not be the way you want it to be, but for now, to ease that mental torture, you need to accept that here and now, this is my situation. I don't want it to be like this in another couple of months, another year, another 6 months, but for now, this is how it is, and I have to accept it. I cannot change it because I've done all that I can do. I've reached out. I've tried to communicate. I've done everything on my part that I can do. But the situation remains the same. So you have to accept the situation for what it is. Another thing, in terms of acceptance, sometimes we have to look for the lesson, seek the lesson in our experience. So we are having a relationship that is causing us a lot of pain. We look for the lesson in it. If it's depends. You have to look for a lesson. What is it that you can take from that situation? so that you can provide some meaning, preferably a positive meaning from it. It could be that you ignored the red flags in the beginning of the relationship. You saw and you felt that, the person and you could never be, but you just disregarded everything else and you went into the relationship. Or it could be that the person, you've been together for a while, but now the person, things are just not working out because the person is seeking pleasure outside of the relationship. Whatever the case may be, you have to seek the meaning. What does all of this mean? In a positive way, so that you could take that lesson away. Don't continue resisting. I wrote an article and a blog about adaptation in terms of change. And one of the things I encourage people to do is to accept, reflect on the situation and simplify it. Accept it for what it is, so that you can move on. Because it's not easy when we are living in a situation where from day to day we are basically in constant turmoil. And I personally have found, because I've been there in relationships, painful relationships where I felt like if I was dying. But at some point I had to come to the realization and accept that I have done all that I can do. It is a very difficult thing to do, because that is why some people prefer to stay in this situation and to keep resisting. Is it because it's easier to resist than to make that humanic effort to get out of a painful relationship situation. But you have to will yourself, make a conscious decision that I know the pain that is going to cause me to stand up and decide, well, I've had enough, but I am willing to do it so that I can keep my sanity. You have to make that conscious decision to accept, embrace things as they are, and make that conscious decision that, and I'm not asking anyone to suppress your thoughts. I'm not asking you to don't think about what is going on, because it's not possible for us to be experiencing a painful situation such as a relationship issue and not think about it. But what I'm asking you to consider is to make the commitment, accept things the way they are, and then you can start looking for a solution for yourself. Because at some point you have to realize that reaching out to your partner is not solving the issue, because your partner may have already decided that they don't want any part of this relationship. So there's nothing at this point that you could do. When a partner is bent on leaving a relationship, the worst thing that you can do is try to hold them back, or try to dictate how they should be. You have to accept things the way they are and refocus. And I know that once you refocus, that things will work for you. There's no one solution, because everyone's situation is different. But at the end of the day, one thing every painful situation, everyone who is being through a painful situation have in common in terms of moving on is accepting. Because if you never accept, you will never move on. And sometimes you might choose to stay in the situation, but you have to accept things the way they are and start working on yourself instead of the other person. Start working on yourself. Some people say that love heals love. That may be true for some people, but I think that one of the things, if you're having experiencing a relationship where there are a lot of issues going on, if you run to another relationship, that's just a temporary cure. So rather than running to another relationship to try and ease that pain, work on yourself. You have to work on yourself. Rather than running to alcohol or smoking, chronic alcoholism where you're drinking and trying to drown yourself, you have to work on yourself. You have to strengthen your mind. Refocus and strengthen your mind. Find positive things that are going to alter your train of thought, so that when you're caught up in all of this well of emotions, that you're listening to something positive, or you're doing something positive that's gonna it's gonna slowly ooze into your consciousness, so that your mind will be hearing something. So whatever is that you're hearing is changing your thought process, so you would not be focusing all the time on what is happening inside of your relationship. So this video is on. I'm gonna wrap up now. Just remember, to whatever situation you're going through, it is just temporary. Nothing lasts forever. That's a good thing about life. It's unpredictable. And just because you're in a painful situation now does not mean that it's always going to be like that. Sometimes when it reaches to the point where we have done all that we can do, we have to let go, trying to control other people or situations, and accept things the way they are and work on ourselves. So that's all for today. Whatever it is that you're doing, I trust that you're having a wonderful day. I encourage you to reach out to someone if you're facing a difficult situation and you have a close friend, to reach out and try and gain some perspective on your situation. Also, don't forget, you can always find support on my fan page, messaging me, CupidandI.com's motivational blogs and poems. Message me there if you need some support. I'm all about confidentiality, so you don't need to worry about that. And also visit my website, CupidandI.com, the vibrant and dynamic woman. Whether you're a man or woman, you could still visit, because there is still something for you in terms of gaining perspective about your life and how you could apply certain principles or steps just to help you out of whatever situation you are in. So if you're viewing this video on YouTube, like, subscribe, or if you're viewing it on Facebook, share your comments, reach out, and remember, positive energy always.